Thanks for joining us, guys. Are we already recording? Yeah, thanks for joining us. Welcome to the Christian and Crystal podcast. How are you guys?
Yay. Good.
Great. I'm sorry we don't have a nice setup like you guys were could be
Oh no, you're
expecting.
good. This is just our little office here, but no, it's good. It's not about the setup. It's not about having the studio. It's just about the conversation and the value that we're gonna bring. So and we get to do that virtually and from anywhere. So that's pretty cool. So, but how's it going, man? How's everything going this week?
It's like a Friday. And
It
I
does.
was swear I was thinking today. I
It's
was like,
been
it
that
feels
kind of
like
week.
Friday today. Yeah, it's been good. I think. I don't know. I think it's because we're doing the podcast. Maybe that feels a little different.
Yeah, a little
But
bit, huh?
yeah,
You know what I love is this Vibe and Thrive accountability
Mhm.
group chat.
Yes.
It's so
Yes.
cool. I
It's
love this thing.
interest yeah, it's interesting to see like the small goals we kind of want to set for ourselves during the week
Yeah,
because I think it's like an accumulation of small goals that could get us to those bigger goals throughout the whole year, you know?
for sure. No, I totally agree. So anybody who's watching, Frida and Jose, they have. eh, Would it be called it's like a workshop, right? Or
I would say so because I think I'm figuring out the identity of it. I just wanted to be able to get with other people that are like-minded
yeah,
to better ourselves. And I think with that, I've molded it into a workshop. So I think that's a
yeah,
pretty good description.
yeah. No, I mean that's definitely what I've been calling it, and I think it was great. I think it was
Mhm.
super cool. So you have them monthly. Um,
Mhm.
and anybody who's interested can find the information on social media, even on our social media, because we'll share it every time too.
Yeah.
And then we'll make sure we tag you in it. So that's super cool. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. Looking forward to the next one. I came home and told her about it, and she's excited to attend the next one too.
Yes, I'm excited
So
to have you there, Krista. That's exactly what I was gonna say. And it's cool because I think after you join, you just get added into that group chat. So even if you do miss a meeting, you could kind of get caught up or see, everyone else and the businesses or whatever they do on there as well.
yeah,
That's amazing.
yeah, it's super cool.
Yeah.
I've been sharing with her. I'm like, oh look, check this out. And this morning she was like, oh, what are you doing? I was like, I'm in the accountability group chat. I was like, she was like, what? I was like, the Vibe and Thrive accountability chat. And so I was like, I'm putting my goals in here. And she was
I
like,
think
oh,
we're
that's cool.
yeah, I think we're all struggling this week a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah. I think was it Kimmy who she just shared a photo, she put failing. Like, and
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Having coffee for her meals. Yeah,
Yeah. That's
guilty.
hilarious. But hey, at least we're authentic, we're honest, and I mean, all of us. Like I even put in there, I'm like, I haven't even attempted my goal, but by the end of this week, I'll have it. So
Yeah.
it's all good. But we're there. We're trying to support each other, and I think it's a really cool space that you guys are creating, just for other like-minded people, business owners, or even anybody interested in owning a business or just getting involved a little bit in the community. It's like a cool space that you guys have created. I was actually talking to Panchito yesterday. He was on our podcast yesterday. So I was talking to him yesterday about it, and how cool it is that he gave you guys a shout out too. He was like, shout out to my friend Jose. and we were just talking about how cool it is that we have friends, in our community that are like-minded and wanting to better ourselves and creating this spaces for people to join. So
Yeah.
so thank
I
you
think
for
it's needed out here.
that.
Yes.
I wish there's if you guys know Omar, you guys know Omar? No,
Uh,
he's this photographer. He works with Kimmy and
Baby
Panchito at the
Alta.
Run Group, and yeah, he does it
okay.
for the soccer club too. But he just turned 20 last month, and he's in our men's group. He's involved with the soccer club. You know, the AV Run with Faith. He's spending a lot of time with just around good people. I think that and thinking back, I'm like, man, when I was 20, not that I think I didn't have access to those kind of people, but I just didn't have any interest in it.
Yeah.
And it's cool to see that these kind of spaces. are available to him, and we actually get to be the ones facilitating it, sometimes, and being there for these guys. So it's good.
For sure. Yeah, no, I totally agree.
What's the painting behind you? Is that a chessboard?
It
And I'm
is.
looking at. You
Yeah.
play chess?
No,
Oh,
she does. I don't. I
oh,
know.
you do?
She.
Used to be,
Oh, okay.
not anymore. No, practice with like children now, so which are pretty good though. But yeah,
Really? I swear I'm always looking for good players. I used to be at a chess club. It was a super small one out here called it was called AV Chess Club. But it was just, I don't know, I don't want to go off on a tangent, but it's just I love chess. So when I see like a chessboard,
Yeah. No.
I
Go
get
off.
locked in.
next time, next time.
That's so cool.
I'm rated like on the actual
If you have a
organization. Yeah, I'm rated like 1400, I think.
That's awesome.
Okay, I'll learn a lot from you. It'll be great.
There you go. Exactly. Yeah, I tried and I don't. He's like, it would take years for you to learn the strategies. I'm like,
Oh,
Now
okay.
for us to play together, she's like, "Well, you don't want to play with me." I was like, "It'd literally take you probably 5-6 years so we could have like an even game, you know?" Like,
That's so cool.
be a fun game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I always say I want to learn because I do. So she's gonna have to teach me, and maybe we can all play together sometime.
For sure.
Yeah.
sure. There's four-way chess. They got those kind
Yeah.
of game boards now, so we can
Oh,
do that.
super cool. Yeah, I definitely need to learn how to play. I remember I spoke with a business owner. This was years ago. He owned like a tech business that he sold, and anyways, he was giving me a bunch of advice, and he started like the whole conversation with learn how to play chess, and I was like,
Mm.
okay, and then and I was like,
Okay.
what does this have to do with the business meeting? Like I don't like, and
Right.
and so, but he was just kind of explaining like, it's about strategy, and I was just like, like I feel like
multiple moves ahead.
yeah, like thinking multiple, and I'm like, I feel like you don't have to be that. I feel like sometimes it's not that deep. Like sometimes it's just about relationships, and like, and so, so I'm like,
Yeah.
all right. But he went off. Like he was just like, I'm like, I think this guy really likes chess. He
You must.
even like concluded it, and he just like looked at me and was like, yeah, learn to play chess. And I was like, all right, what the heck?
That's
People make that connection all the time. They think
Yeah.
chess, correlates to life. And
For sure.
I've heard it a ton. People say it all the time. I'm just like, it's just a game too. I don't know.
Yeah, and just my thinking, I was like, I think it's, it's not all about being so strategic or trying to win. Sometimes it's just about connecting with people, educating, and building a relationship with them, right? And so I think that you guys do that very well in your guys's business. So again, for anybody watching, Frida and Jose, they're not just our friends. We go to the same church. You guys are business owners, power couple. So tell us a little bit about that, about your business, and how you guys kind of navigate that.
Go ahead, Frida.
I was like, I came into this. I think this is actually the first time he and I have ever done. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the first time he and I have ever done anything together like a podcast. So coming into it today, I was like, okay, let me just shut up and let him kind of.
No, whoever wants to talk.
To give him an opportunity and
Yeah.
feel like I'm not like,
Yeah.
hey, it's about me.
I love that you're both on, first of all. So thank you both for being on. You guys are our first power couple that we're doing a podcast with. So super cool. You guys are the first. And I'm really glad it's you guys, and I think we're gonna have a good conversation. But yeah, take us back to how you got into the insurance game.
For sure.
Maybe I should start then, in that sense.
I'm
Well, no,
like,
I
I was
guess,
gonna go
yeah.
back.
Oh, yeah, that, yeah, all right, go
So I had been in insurance in the insurance industry for I want to say I'm creeping into like 8, 9 years now, but I started shortly after high school. I left to the military and I came back trying to figure out what was going to be my quote unquote civilian job. And Jose and I were kind of going through similar things because he joined the Navy after high school. And so we were both kind of trying to figure out what our life was going to be. And we met and started dating and figuring that out. So I ended up in insurance and I loved it because it was I was able to build relationships and just help people. And I would spend hours talking to one customer because it was just nice. And so it was never really, for me at least, about the sale. It was nice to connect with people. And a few years in, um, Jose actually had decided to get licensed for insurance and he started working at an insurance agency as well. So we weren't working together, but we related a lot to the job. And I think at that time he enjoyed it too.
I mean, I could get into that part. It's a little
Yeah, for
fun.
sure.
It's a fun little tangent to get off
Yeah.
into. But yeah, was in the Navy after high school. Got out. I worked a ton of different jobs. I did sales at T-Mobile, Costco. I did pretty well. I was always like in the top 10, top 5 in the district. So I was pretty good at it. I guess I was just kind of wasting a lot of time back then with money wise and what I would do after work and how I'd show up to work and whatnot. So I could have been a lot better, but I decided at one point to try to get into insurance because Frida, I would see that she was making, good money as well. And I was like, I'm tired of selling phones at Costco. Like I want to go try something else. So I get into insurance with this one guy. He's not in business anymore, but it was, I forget where it was exactly. It was in Canoga Park, I think. But this guy, he was the worst. He was a farmer's agent as well. And like I said, he's not with the company anymore, so I could talk about him, but
Yeah.
And he's not local.
yeah, he's
Okay.
not
He
local,
wasn't like,
obviously. Yeah. And no, this guy, he obviously was just doing a ton of fraud. He
Oh.
was arguing with his wife in the office. He would get really like just aggressive and loud and be shouting. And it was just all bad. And that was like the first experience I had with insurance was just this guy that I knew was up to no good. I don't know how he was getting money because he had a ton of supercars, all these big fancy trucks. He had an office in like the prime part of town, and he kind of had like the image of someone that was very successful, but I knew he wasn't getting to it in an
yeah.
ethical manner.
I understand.
So that was my first experience with it, and I think it was around the time when COVID had first got
Oh.
Shortly
announced or
after.
whatever. Yeah, that I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, I think it's a good time to get out, and I left. And yeah, after that, um, I worked as an EMT, and Frida, I guess that's all. I'll switch it back over to you.
We'll just like
I love it.
popcorn.
Yeah.
Yeah. I while he was an EMT, I was actually going through COVID. I also had decided to leave my job because after a few years, I think a sales job, to me, it got boring. Um, because obviously when you're working for your employer wants more, 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 more. And I was like, look, I don't know what more I can really give,
Mhm.
because it was just becoming so boring and repetitive, and it became that job, like that 9 to 5, where I was just so mentally exhausted and I was
She
commuting a
would try to
lot.
give her ideas to this guy because she worked for a small business franchise as well under
Yeah,
Allstate. She'd
Okay.
be trying to give him ideas. She'd be talking to me about it. Like, oh, we should do these kind of giveaways, and they weren't like something like super out there. It was just like she wanted to try different marketing,
you're right.
and they would always give you like
The
sort of
run
like the cold
around, kind of
shoulder.
like, we're not
Yeah.
going to do that. That doesn't work.
Got you.
Just
Yeah.
make your 100 cold calls every day
Okay.
and make that sale. And it was like, okay. So yeah, that's why I say I got bored because
Mhm.
that's not something I enjoyed doing. And then being
It
stuck in
would
an
work too.
office. Yeah.
Yeah, they would
It,
work. I remember one time you had suggested something, they didn't want to do it, and then the other girl suggested it, and like it worked out or something, didn't
It
it?
was, I would still try to do like market, I would still try to market, like even though I didn't have the full support of my employer, and it
For
would
sure.
work.
Yeah,
And
you were right.
then it was,
Yeah,
I was right, like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
and
and I
it
I love it.
became, yeah, so I didn't have much control about what I could do in like that creativity. And I would like to say
Exactly.
I did
Yeah.
become confident in learning to be creative and kind of bringing my ideas to life and figuring out if it works, and if it doesn't I pivot. So COVID happened. You know, I think for everyone could kind of say that was a chaotic time. No one knew what
For
to do.
sure.
Like everything was just like a scare, you know.
Yes.
So I decided that was a good time to leave as well and kind of figure it out and take some time off and reflect on what I wanted to do. And I was like, maybe I'm just done with insurance.
Uh-huh.
So I actually had decided to apply to an insurance here locally instead of commuting. I was done with the commute. It just took so much time of our lives to be commuting.
For sure.
And coincidentally, I was interviewing with the district office of Farmers Insurance in Antelope Valley, and he was like, I want you to open an insurance agency. I want you to do this. And I was like, I can't do that. I don't
Yeah.
know what that means. I don't have the money, the means. I don't think I even have the connections to start that. Um, so at the time, he was like, okay, fine. I really like you though. So would you want to become a business consultant? So I, again, did not know what that meant. And I just said yes. It sounded way different than an insurance agent, and it wasn't just sales. And that's where I really learned about what a business owner has to do to open their doors, and what contracts are, and revenue and profit, and how much do you buy a business for, and then how much do you have to generate, and how you,
Mhm.
so I got into the real kinks of what it is to open a business.
Mhm.
And it took almost 1 year to the date before I was like, okay, I'll take you up on that deal you were giving me a year ago. I'll open up my own storefront. And
More than a year, I think.
a,
But
it
yeah,
was a year. I was like, I counted because I remember.
I'll kind of jump in here. So
Yeah.
when she, and I kind of just want to give myself the kudos here, because
Yeah.
when she first applied for the job, well, when she was thinking about working in insurance locally, I had helped you with your resume,
Uh-huh.
and
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, and back then, like, I was pretty good at typing up resumes, I guess. So I was like,
Yeah.
just put that you helped take this Allstate agency from zero to, it was like 3 million, like a $3 million book value,
Mm.
and you had worked at all these other small businesses from that were basically startups,
Yeah.
and kind of phrased it, in that manner, her entire resume, and that's what caught the attention of the district manager, because he wanted someone that was a self starter, that knew what the business was from
Right.
the start to getting it to a pretty high value, and that's what caught his attention, I guess, because I'm sure Steven was getting a ton of applications back then, if not.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And through Indeed, so if anyone listens, like they really do look for keywords. So Jose putting that together, because I did start with a lot, I did work as a salesperson for a lot of small businesses that were new. So when you're new, the first like 3 to 5 years it's the most important to really get that foundation for your client base and start setting up your sales so that you have residuals coming in and you're able to afford your rent and your employees and your expenses and so
Mhm.
on and so forth. But my mind obviously at that time was not thinking about that, and I never really put together my resume. I was always hired by kind of word of mouth.
Mhm.
So my resume had never mattered up until that time that I was searching for a job locally. So I would probably say here locally, the business owners are really looking for people of value that maybe don't even know how to put their resumes together and show what they've done that could be of value here. And because of Jose, that was one of the reasons I was selected for that interview.
Love it.
And yeah, and so yeah, I
It's all
mean,
true, you know.
yeah,
She really did help that Allstate agent go from
Oh
0
no,
to, I
for
don't know,
sure.
it was
Yeah.
like 3
Nothing. It
million or
wasn't
something, right, Frida?
falsified. It was.
it
You
was
just.
just
Oh
Yeah.
like
yeah.
how
You just.
I was just like worked at this and did this. It's
Yeah.
so like such a
For
basic thing
sure.
to do on a resume, but
I totally get it. Yeah. That was my resume until she hyped it up.
she's like, let
Yeah.
me
So
polish
I
this
I
up.
totally get it. And it's funny because I'm sure maybe it was, maybe it wasn't, but
Yeah.
this was probably before Chat GPT, right? There was no
Oh
like,
yeah.
yeah, he had to do that from
From
yeah,
scratch, yeah, pretty
yeah.
much.
So super cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
love that.
before she became an agent, um, I was about to start working as an EMT for AMR in Lancaster when I think she was probably like 3, 4 months into the job at that point, and where I had heard about what she did. We kind of realized that we went for the mentality that like a business wasn't like this abstract concept that we couldn't, you know, that it was like there was like a very large gap between us being able to
Well,
get to
can
open up
I
something like that.
the reason why he's saying that is because one of the previous bosses I had, you know how he mentioned I had these marketing ideas and all these strategies, he would often mention, if you ever want to start something for yourself, let me know. We'll get you to the right people. And I would ask, like, how do you do that? And
Mhm.
I remember sitting there and he's like, well, first you need $50,000. Like, $50,000 is what you need, and that's a start. And it was kind of just very vague. And I was like,
Yeah.
I do not have
Right.
$50,000 cash.
And what was that
So
for?
I and I guess in his description was like the startup, and I wasn't understanding
Right.
what that meant. So it was like I need all this money that I don't have to
Mhm.
start something. So that's where it's like fast forward, opportunities opened up with that position where I really actually got to learn. And then I'm talking to Jose about it and telling him, like, look, this is what contracts look like. This is how you buy one. This is how you start. If you want to start from scratch, if you want to buy a business, this is what you want to look for when you're buying a business, what the cost of your loan is it, it shouldn't be more than 20 to 30% than what the business is bringing in. So it was like things like that I
Right.
was coming home to every week telling him. And yeah,
We gain an understanding of it.
yeah,
For
Like
sure.
what if he told you it was 50,000, or he would have told you it was 100? Like I think he was just kind of telling her something so that she would feel like it was out of her reach, I guess. But
maybe, maybe.
That's what I was thinking. And this is why this is sometimes why people don't those who really want to, they don't start their own businesses sometimes because they really do think that it's this difficult, and
Yeah,
it requires all this money and all these connections, and people don't start, and they have these dreams and they have these goals, and sometimes it's just about starting, and kind of as you guys are explaining, just really getting the right information, just a little bit of the right information, and just kind of
exactly.
acquiring that knowledge. And you guys were kind of like learning through the process, and you're like, wait a second, despite the wrong information you were being given, you were like, no, this is more attainable than we actually thought. And then now we have the knowledge, and then being fearless and having the courage to go out there and try it. And I love this story that you guys are sharing, because we only know you as these successful power couple business owners. I don't know anything about your guys' story, because our friendship is so new. But
Yeah.
but I love hearing how you guys got to this journey, this point in your life. So I was really excited to ask that question, because that was not just a talking point. Like, I really wanted to know. So
Yeah.
super cool. But what I love about that whole thing is you guys are such entrepreneurs. Like, mind, body, soul. Like, you're just entrepreneurs. Like, and you're absolutely right how you were explaining the 9 to 5 in a lot of corporate markets. That's how it is. Like, just do what we tell you to. Just do what the script says. Just make the 100
Yeah.
cold calls, and
Yeah.
don't try to rewrite the script. Like
Right.
just do it this way. But we're wired, especially you and I. You could talk more on the creativity, but um, we're wired to create. Like we're
Hmm.
wired to make things, and not all of us. Some of us are just really meant for the corporate market and just being rigid,
Exactly.
and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But some of us are just we want to create something, and you are a lot like that, for sure. And so,
Core, we're creators.
yeah,
I think that's if we're made in the image of God. God is a creator.
yes,
That's something I've always, you know, accepted and agreed with. I think.
I love that for sure. So something you might not know is Crystal and I actually met in the insurance business as well.
Oh, that's
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
really. So you guys got to tell us about that for sure.
I'll let you tell some. Let's see if we could popcorn like they did. They did a really good job at that. Start wherever you want, and I'll see where I can.
Yeah.
They were good. That was really good. We got to try. I was like, dang, they're good, and they're like, all right, I got it from here. Like,
Let me get my scorecard out.
I know. Go ahead. We'll see if we can do it. I'm gonna be like, I don't remember that, but anyway, my.
Turned out a little different though. I was in college and I did not understand that insurance could be commission based as well. So I went for an interview, and apparently that's when we met. And yeah, I got the job. Like,
The job.
yeah, I got the job. I got hired.
That's so funny.
But I think it was so amazing because I did learn so much. Just the program you go through, even the test you're taking, everything like that. Like the knowledge I gained there, I would never give that up, even though like it was not technically a job. Like I got so much knowledge there that I applied to even this day.
Yeah.
And then we also met, so hey, that's worth it. And
I think it worked out.
Yeah, it worked out great. But I think there's a lot of misconceptions about the insurance industry, and people don't actually realize all the resources that they can have that is affordable, that anyone, depending on their situation, can really kind of have access to. So that was great information.
And
You guys met at a life insurance company.
Yes.
we sure did. Yeah.
Oh, so was it like the multi?
It was, yes. So
level?
yes, it was network marketing for sure.
Okay, so I had known a little bit about that industry, not through myself, but like I would hear these things about how the point is to recruit as many people, but if those like 20 people you recruited, each of them just sell one policy, all the commissions really go to the like head one that's actually licensed and has these like contracts, right?
They get
So
they get what's called an override. So they also make commission from that transaction. But it's really similar to just how real estate works. There's a broker who has the office. They have agents. The agents go sell a home, the broker gets a commission.
Right.
So it's just like that. But there's not so much recruiting in real estate. There's just, like just if you happen to recruit, you happen to recruit. But it's not like go recruit more agents. We need to sell more houses. It's like, no, go find more.
I think they're so good at like their social media. Like I think they're so good at their social media, like real estate agents, that does all the recruiting for them. I think.
Yeah,
I've always thought that because I think real estate agents do a lot of marketing. It's great.
They do.
It's a good part of the business.
They do. Yeah,
So I think that pretty much covers that for them.
We try to, we have to get better at that. But yeah, we met in
we do too.
I'm like we got to get better at that. But yeah, we met in the insurance industry. We both have our life insurance license. So that was kind of how we got into it, and I was in it first. This was back when I was in retail management. If you've heard of Payless Shoes, probably.
Yeah,
I used to manage and sell
where I would get my shoes for school.
yeah. In the little aisles where you put the shoes on when you were a kid, they used to make you run faster. I used to sell Payless shoes. So I got recruited into the life insurance industry
Yeah.
from there. And I remember sitting down with um, who became my upline at the time, and he was just going over all these things. And I don't come from a wealthy family. These things aren't taught. I don't know much about building wealth and real estate and financial education and what
Or protecting your wealth.
or protecting your wealth or
Yeah.
insurance, like nothing. So he sat with me and broke it all down for me, and I was just like, I have no idea what you just said. Like
Right.
your whole presentation was great, but I have no clue
Like,
what
yeah.
you just said. Yeah. And
That
I
sucks.
said, and I think that's a problem. And
Yeah.
so and he was like, yeah. And I was like, that's a big problem. And I
He's
said,
like, I wish you
I
told me
think
that 30 minutes ago.
yeah. Yeah, he's all, this was a waste. Yeah. And
Yeah.
so believe it or not, I said, I think that's a big problem, but I think that is the problem. And if I want to do anything or break the cycle of generational poverty in my family, or just breaking cycles in general, or just whatever it is I want to do better for my family, I think I need to learn these things.
For
And
sure.
so I was in. I was like, I'm
Yeah.
in. Let's do this. And I quit my job the same day. That was crazy.
That
I don't
Krista's like,
recommend.
why did you
I
do that?
do not recommend doing that. Yeah, she did not know me yet. So I quit the same day. I was like, I'm all in. I don't know. I was just hyped. And
Yeah.
and I remember he was like, all right, we're gonna go to the office on Monday. It's in Palmdale. I didn't live out here. I lived over
Yeah.
in Victorville when all this happened.
Okay.
And
Okay.
and I was like, okay. And this was like 7, 8 years ago, something like that. Um, and so I was like, okay, sounds good. Anyway, that's how I got into the insurance industry. I should not have quit my job. It
What
was
was it like?
very
How
challenging.
long did you do it for?
I did it for years actually, but it was a
Really?
struggle for the first
Yeah.
2. Like
Okay.
it was hard. But I think when you met me, I was like already kind of established, and I was a broker in the office,
Okay.
and then we did our own thing during COVID. We branched off and we had our own borrow solutions insurance, and we were just
Yeah.
doing it remotely, and then it became for us, it just became not fun anymore. And I was like, I don't know, this just feels like work now. And I was like, we need to do something else. And then
Yeah.
I think we just stuck with our W-2s at the time, and then realized like we always wanted to get into real estate, and that's kind of what led us to real estate. But yeah, I wanted to share. I was like, we met in the insurance industry.
Well,
And
it's pretty awesome for sure, because at least, leaving your job and committing led you to meeting Krista.
yes, for sure. So the pyramid scheme worked. It does work.
No, that's so funny.
Yeah.
Krista
So
was probably like, all right, time to get a W-2 job back.
Yeah, I figured it out pretty quick. I was like, what is happening here? But I did learn a lot though.
Yeah.
And, like we still did it too, even when I was working full time. So.
I think like I've heard people tell me like you should hire people that came from that industry because they grow a backbone. If they did it for a certain amount of time,
yeah,
they can,
for
they
sure.
have some communication skills that a lot of people don't because they're scared to even pick up a call and set an appointment.
100%. And it's so true, because I was like that when I first got in it. I was like, what do you mean? Like we just go talk to people? Like, what do you like?
Yeah.
And then you just follow the script? Yeah, at the store? Like, what do you
Have a yard
you pretend you're grocery shopping? Like, what is happening? Like, so I was like, this is crazy. So I learned so much, but I did, just to her point, I learned so much that I apply today to our business, to our financials, like all of it, so because you learn so much in being in that industry and around people who are actually successfully operating that business, and although the model is a little strange, the business is real. Like
Right.
we're all licensed through the state of California. That's a real license. You have to take a
Yeah.
test to get that. And
Yeah.
so the model
I think it's a lot of flack, the network marketing
for
kind
sure.
of, but yeah, but I always knew that there at its foundation there was actual companies
Yes,
backing those policies. My,
100%. Yeah.
I guess our problem, me and Frida's problem with it, knowing about insurance now is just sometimes, they're not structured always the best for the customer. Um,
Right.
and
Because you're so motivated to try to get a result,
Yeah.
or even to try to have.
People, especially if they're not getting a lot of business and that's all that they're focusing on,
Yeah.
getting that commission or
For sure, you're so focused on getting a commission or a result, and you're not
Yeah.
even doing the best by the client. You're just like, here's this, just get this product, just get this product. You're shoving products down their throat at a certain point just to, you know what I mean? And
I
so,
think, yeah, for sure. And
and
to
that's
that
not what
point,
it should not be about that.
exactly, because so you mentioned earlier there's a common misconception, Crystal, like about insurance in the industry. So what we run into is there's people that got a life insurance plan 20 years ago, because I have friends with parents that, they've been paying, let's say $17 for the last one, and you would know, like, oh, 20 years ago it's probably the time that it's renewing, and they were told that that was going to be building their wealth.
Mm,
So $17 for 20 years is not going to build
no.
any of your wealth.
yeah.
And then to make matters worse, they're sold a term policy, and then it's like, oh no, a term policy is just literally
It's
like
just insurance.
just
Yeah,
insurance
and
if
it
something happens,
expires.
and it expires, and that's it. And
Yeah,
that's what we use for like short-term debt, or
for
like
sure.
debt you're not gonna,
Right.
your house,
You
like
replace
mortgage
your
protection.
mortgage protection,
Yeah,
income replacement.
exactly.
Like
Exactly.
that's where that comes into play. That's not the
And
right vehicle to build, or the right amount, and that's what, like,
exactly.
yeah, it has to build over time,
But then that
yeah.
agent has just been missing for so long, and obviously because they moved on.
Yes.
But then, there's a lot of people that are stuck, unfortunately, with that policy, and they think they're paying for something that they're not.
Mhm.
And by the time 20 years has passed, it's like, okay, to really get a good plan going, it's going to be
A lot more.
very expensive. So then
pretty much been
that's,
overpaying for term insurance for X
Yeah,
amount of years. That's pretty much
yeah,
what it is.
for sure. So, and this is where you help people, right? This is
exactly.
exactly where you guys come in. So, what advice, like right now, on that topic, can you give to anybody who might be watching?
Take your policy to uh, a quality insurance agent that's going to give you, the honest truth.
Mhm.
That's pretty much the best thing you could do if you have a policy at the moment.
I guess my question though is like, how do you know?
If you could trust
And
someone,
yeah, because I mean, it's not like the people that are in the multi-level marketing, like, I wouldn't say that they're bad people either,
Um,
and they're just doing what they think is, their job, and facilitating um that contract. So I think that's right now that there's a shift in um marketing that's necessary, and like knowledge base. There should be at least basics that people have a general understanding on. And if you establish that trust at the very least on social media or in person through workshops, then confidently maybe you can move forward to then setting up that appointment and establishing a plan.
Mhm.
So I think that's where I'm currently very hyper focused on, because of exactly what you just asked.
well,
How do
answer his question.
yeah,
I think like if you can't, you can't just know who to trust. I guess you're right. Um, the best thing someone could do is read their contract, read through the
mhm,
policy, read, what the statement has been like every single year. And the only problem with that is that, permanent life insurance policies are, to the average consumer, they're very complicated. They have a lot of moving
exactly.
parts.
It's
Yeah.
true.
and it takes, the language in them can be very confusing. You don't know what certain things mean. It's tough. But actually, actually a good solution nowadays is you have artificial intelligence. You can put the PDF of your statement for your permanent policy into the AI, and it'll literally guide you accurately, because I've tried it, um, to understand it. So it's actually really useful. That's probably the best thing someone could do nowadays.
That's true. To at least understand it, but they need you guys,
Yeah.
who are
So that
definitely licensed. Like
Yeah.
I would totally do that, and I'd be like, okay, just to for sure understand it, but I would at least want to be like, dang, like I have to take this to Frida or Jose.
I
Can you break this down? Like, is this
yeah, and
correct? And
I like the
like, can we set up
subject
a plan?
So what's
of AI because
no, yeah, keep going. What's
I like I like the subject of AI because I think AI can be intimidating to business owners with how advanced it is and what you can do, and you could put legal binding contracts in there, and ChatGPT is going to tell you about the basic information. Sure, it might even give you answers to this, but at the end of the day, we do sit down, and not just me, but like a really good agent is going to sit down with you and assess all your risks, not just what's in your contract, because that's another thing that's needed too, is really evaluating a breakdown and getting to know you as a person, because ChatGPT doesn't know that you like to have a vacation every
Yes.
year to Hawaii with your 5 kids, and you already put away those $5,000 to $10,000 that you want to spend freely, and you want to make sure that that's wrapped in if
Yes.
your spouse passes away, that that's even covered in a living plan for them to continue doing things even past you being gone. So it's like all those special details
Yes.
ChatGPT
You are
cannot give
absolutely
you.
correct. You are absolutely correct. I think that a lot of people are in uh in financial situations where they're it doesn't match their criteria at all.
Yeah.
And so I remember like I used to say if you were going to on a vacation, you would have a specific criteria to that vacation. If I said that, do you want to go somewhere hot or cold? And you said cold, but I
Yeah.
started your vacation somewhere hot, like it doesn't
Yeah.
match the criteria of what you want. And I think a lot of people are in certain financial situations where they have certain plans or certain tools that they're already using that don't match their actual criteria exactly like you're saying.
Yeah.
And ChatGPT can't do that because it doesn't know all those little details. And
Of
so
course.
sometimes they have these financial plan they think they have these great financial plans and tools, but it doesn't even align with the criteria of the plan that they want, and these tools are
Yeah.
actually hurting them and not helping them. And so that's where you guys come in, and you can really sit down and and make sure that they have these goals and dreams and these financial plans, and make sure that they're equipped with the right tools and plans that align with that.
Absolutely.
That's amazing.
So what's your
Yeah.
process, and like what do you usually help people with, and
Mhm.
what products do you both specialize in? Can you share a little bit more about that, and how you
Yeah.
people?
Jose, you want to take it off or you
Sure.
want me? Okay.
Well, the value that we have with the agency is that we're a multi-line agency. So pretty much, if there's a need that a customer has, as long as we haven't completely shut it down in California, which has been changing a lot in the last few years, we can pretty much help with anything. And if not, we always go the extra mile to help anybody that comes through our doors or calls our office to find what they need. As far as what we specialize in, you know, pretty much any insurance agent does auto and home insurance. Um, that's the bread and butter for any agency. So we do offer those. I guess where we kind of specialize in that area is that we don't let nobody that price shops is going to call into our agency. I mean, they do, but we're not going to
So you want
accommodate
a
that kind
cheap
of.
plan?
Yeah, we're not going to conform our standards to someone's budget. You know, and as bad as that might sound, it's just us being the best that we can be and doing what's best for the customer. Because I'll share with you guys a little story. When I was, and this is like the perfect example of what I'm saying here, is when I was in sixth grade, my house burned down. Um, and my parents are immigrants, so they don't know a thing about insurance. They don't know a thing about pretty much anything outside of what my dad did for work,
Mhm.
and feeding and surviving. Pretty much, you can imagine, you understand what I'm saying.
For sure.
Mhm.
Um, so they obviously knew that they had to get insurance on the car because they had to get it registered. And they
Mhm.
only knew they had to get it registered because they bought the car from a dealership.
And
You know,
because it was
that
law. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's exactly. So they got the car to dealership. Dealership told them, "Oh, you got to get your registration. To get your registration, you got to get your insurance." And boom, that's how they knew they had to get insurance, right? Well, they that's all they had for insurance, just the auto insurance. We were renting. We were moving from house to house at the time, and our house burned down, like I said. And obviously, my parents didn't know that renters insurance was a thing.
Mhm.
So we lost the house. My dad lost a ton of his equipment. We lost all of our personal belongings, and it really set us back. Back when I was 12 years old, and looking back now, and as I did when I first got into the industry back in 2019 and again in 2021, was wow, a renter's insurance policy is $5 freaking. It probably would have been $5 back when I was
Back then.
12
Yeah.
years old.
Mhm.
Nowadays it's like 15. So
Mhm.
a little policy like that, if an agent didn't uh, didn't conform to like the budget that my parents I'm assuming wanted to stay inside of, and if he just went the extra mile and did the due diligence,
Mhm.
they would have avoided tens of thousands of dollars in losses. It's that simple. It's just, as long as
That's simple.
if an agent specializes in anything, he should specialize in doing what's best for the customer.
Yes.
That's the best thing someone can do.
Yeah.
And like I said, something as simple as, hey, do you rent? Do you own your home? A question as simple as that would have
Mhm.
helped avoid my parents from a
Wow.
10,000, 10, 20, 30, $40,000. I don't know how much it was now, but
Wow.
um,
Yeah. It's
yeah,
it's
That's powerful.
interesting because exactly how he said that, I guess there's going to be an agency you could call into and say, hey, give me the cheapest possible rate. I just want to get on the road. I just want to get my registration. I just get me out the door. Right.
Mhm.
So they're going to do that. They're going to get the cheapest possible rate. I immediately, when they call in, whether they're speaking to me, Jose, or anyone in the agency, it's kind of like, wait, what's going on? What happened? Why are you shopping around? What kind of car is this? Are you a homeowner? We start asking like a whole bunch of questions. And yeah, we have people that are kind of like, don't even want to pay the time. Why are you asking these questions? Why do they matter? And we know we're not going to close that person, which is
Yeah.
okay. We're okay with that. But then there's the people that stay on the line and no one has ever asked these questions before. Then we find gaps of coverage and then
Wow.
we try to like figure out a plan, and then they just feel so much secure after the end of that conversation because we asked the questions, we provided the different options, and now they have that peace of mind. And we also have the peace of mind that what kind of coverage we gave for their auto, their home, their business, or their life insurance, they that when they call in and they have a claim, we're not worried about, oh my God, did we include this? Did we not offer them that? Or we're just like, okay, let's get you started, let's get you set up. We know you're gonna be in a rental car within the moment your auto is in the body shop, because we didn't care about that price tag in a sense, and neither did they, because you can't put a price tag on peace.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
So
if we're
So
talking,
good.
5, 10, 15% difference from being, you know, poorly covered to being, appropriately covered, it's worth it every time. It's
I love
not,
that.
it's not so much about the dollar figure. We're talking about 5 to 15% of a difference for you to not have to worry about insurance if anything ever happens. That's worth it for
yeah.
people who can think, take that next step in what they're thinking, when they're making the purchase. But yeah, I mean, auto and home insurance is pretty much our mentality. The life and business side, Frida, you can
Yeah.
go ahead with that one.
So like, to answer your question in a simple manner, we take care of all your personal needs, which is the auto and the home. That's what we would consider your personal assets. Your toys. So if you have motorcycles, ATV, golf carts, those fun things, those are part of your personal assets. So we can have coverage for that. And then there's obviously your life insurance so that you protect that kind of lifestyle that you already have for your personal assets. And then the I would say the second component is if you are an entrepreneur, you are a business owner, we then make sure that we are protecting your business and your employees with the workers' compensation. So our clients essentially have like this umbrella with us of, okay, well, this is my agent that protects my personal assets and they protect my business assets, and they are able to then provide me with a life insurance planning to protect my livelihood, and that could be passed down. So it's really amazing to be able to do that, because essentially we know as business owners we want to have our business around for the next 20 plus years. So if I know that I'm protecting them for the very beginning and helping them plan as they buy their first home, purchase a business, have their baby, have established their family, get married, like we're there for all these different milestones.
Yeah.
So that's where like we're helping them plan throughout that. So like in 20 years, something, God forbid, it happens. We've been there through every step of the way, just taking care of those things.
Love that. So I had a follow-up question, but
Yeah.
it's very clear what the answer is, just based off of how passionate you guys are about talking about your business. My follow-up question was going to be what what separates you from other insurance agencies, but for anybody who's watching, or even you can tell, it's that you care. You actually care about people. You actually care about their life, the plans that they have, their families, their goals. And so I think the answer really speaks for itself, and you
Yeah.
guys totally showed that. Just as she was, what I loved is that you didn't even go right into, because the initial question was what is it, what's your process? You did not lead with any systems. You did not lead with exactly what you do. You led with, we take care of people, and
Yeah.
we're gonna talk with you, and the process is we're gonna sit with you, we're gonna talk with you, and we're gonna figure out exactly what you need to make sure that you are successfully set up, and you're just gonna sit down, you're gonna care about people. That was the first thing you said, and I was like, wow. So my follow-up question was already answered.
Good.
Yeah. We don't
That's so
compromise
cool.
on that either. If we get calls all the time, people calling in, hey, what's the rate? And I can kind of tell they're shopping on price. So I'm like, I go through it as quick as possible. I'm like, look, this is the ballpark figure. It's always way too much. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll check for you, without, in a year from now, if we're any better, I'll give you a call. And that's how a lot of the quotes go.
Yeah.
So it's, we know what the market's like. We know, people, despite us wanting people to be with the best company, which we believe is our company, and being appropriately covered, we know it's not always in people's budgets, and we know it's not everything's gonna be perfect. So we can accept that, and we know when we just have to detach ourselves from the outcome. We do our part. We always give the best, the honest advice, and if it works for them, and if it's in their budget, then there's really no better company that they could be with, and that's the honest truth.
Love that. Super cool. How you touched on this a little earlier, and I was like, I definitely I want to get into that, just because we go to the same church. I just wanted to know, because you guys we're talking a lot about insurance, which is great, and I really wanted to touch on all of this as well, because I think the financial education behind all this is extremely important, and I think that serving a very underserved market in
Mhm.
that area is just it's our passion as well, and
Yeah,
we get to do that, through real estate, and you guys get to do that through insurance. And but overall we're really just serving, we're serving our community, and we get to do that amongst friends. And so, how does your faith play a part in your business and in your relationship? I like to tie our faith into conversations as well. So I was just
absolutely.
wondering if you
Jose, do you
could.
want to start or?
You go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. So I grew up, and I'll just talk a little bit about it and kind of loop it in to answer your question. I did grow up in a Hispanic household that was just kind of told to be Catholic.
Oh.
So I went to, Catholic church, and I did my first communion. I did all the steps necessary that someone that's being raised in a Catholic household. But truthfully, there was never really a connection there with my church.
Hmm.
I understood, my 10 commandments and not so much of the Bible, just some stories. I didn't ever read the Bible. And as I grew up, I knew I trusted in God most of my life because I felt like that was the one good thing that I had um, constantly good as a foundation, at least just despite my life and my family's life. And I grew up with an alcoholic dad and um, an emotional detached mother because of their, marriage. And I lost my dad very young. And through my whole life, I think I just always left my faith that, God is working in my life.
Yeah.
And so to make a long story short, we made some changes, some pretty drastic changes in our life in the last few years, which was for me breaking a chain of alcoholism in my family. I felt like I had to be the one to take that step. And even though I would have probably thought that's not something I would ever do because drinking was normal, and you start to see patterns that are, come from the way you were raised. And I just decided to break it. I started to change a lot of things of my lifestyle. And coincidentally, when you start to do that, you meet new people, and you get led. I would say God definitely opened doors and brought people in my life that brought me to new life. And honestly, since the first day that I went which actually was in the first Sunday of January this year, I haven't stopped going. And it's actually been amazing to dive into my faith.
Hmm.
I would say fully. Started reading the Bible and hearing, this, listening to the stories in my head and taking notes, and then going to church. And the way our community and the church has embraced us, and we met you guys there, and we've met so many people. And through the run club that Panchito and Kimmy started, it's just been amazing how, to me, it's been feeling like, look, here's God showing me, the different ways he has worked through in my life. And here I am uh running a business and or doing things in my life that, little Frida probably was like, what, like, I can't believe that that you're doing this, that you were able to do that. So I'm very grateful in that way.
That's amazing. Love that.
Yeah.
What a testimony.
Let's all go to. um, you know, to answer your question, I go to church for one outside of God. I go to church for one person, and that's myself. And the reason I say that is because how I see it is, if I as I become a better person, and I become a closer version to the man that God wants me to be and needs me to be, so that I can be the most useful servant for Him. It's the best thing that I can do for the people around me, my future children, our business, the community we serve, our friends, our peers, and myself in the future. So the way that my faith connects with our businesses is exactly that. I see myself as the vessel that God is utilizing, and as long as I become closer in alignment with who God wants me to be, then I will be more useful and more effective and more, in alignment with God's greatest purpose for ourselves. So that's how I see my faith aligning with what we do.
Yeah.
With anything we do, and not just a business. So
Yeah, for sure. I love that. You guys are very inspiring. That's what I've gotten from this conversation.
Yeah.
Just very inspiring, and I really appreciate you guys taking the time to have a conversation with us. I was really excited to get to know you guys, and super inspiring. We got off yesterday we were on the podcast with Panchito, and I was telling him
Yeah.
like, oh, Frida Jose tomorrow, and I was telling him some of the other guests, and he was like, "Oh man, you got some good speakers. You got some good people you're talking." And then we got off with Panchito, and she was Crystal, just thinking about the conversation, because it was a good conversation. As you guys know, you're very close with him,
Yeah.
um but she was like, I like our friends. And I'm like, yeah, it was just, we just talked about God and, business, and it was the same thing with this conversation. And yeah, to Crystal's point, I do like our friends. Like we have
Yeah.
good friends. So, we appreciate the friendship we're starting to build with you guys. And
I appreciate you guys
and
too.
and I wasn't hesitant to come on, because I didn't want to talk with you or anything, but it's just like these are the kind of conversations I like to have, like
yeah,
you
for
you,
sure.
you ask all of our friends, it's the same thing. Like I'm not a big fan of small talk. Like if
No,
we're at
yeah,
church, like we'll shake hands, hey, how you doing? It's the same thing
right.
every Sunday. But we can
Yes.
sit down and talk. Like this is
Yeah.
what I really enjoy,
Awesome.
and this is like I really enjoyed this too. It's great, I like
Yeah.
speaking with you guys.
Yeah, so did we. You guys have such great testimonies, and it aligns a lot with ours too. We both came from we had addicted parents. Ours was drugs.
Yeah.
But same thing. We wanted to break that cycle, and just really just do something different. And so I still have family, and my mom, my
Yeah.
sister, my brother, they actively struggle with that addiction,
Yeah.
just on my mom's side. But just wanting to do something different, or be different, and just say like that's not, I always say like, yeah, maybe it ran in my family until it ran into me. And I say
Yep.
that about a lot of things. And so just wanting to be the one to just break that cycle. And and it's not easy, like you guys know it's not easy, and you watch them struggle, and you try to show there's another way. And this is with everything, this is with
Yeah.
addiction, it's with finances, it's with lifestyle, it's with anything. And all we can do is one, try to lead them to God,
Yeah.
and two, try to be that example. And so, we try to be that. I could see that you guys try to do that as well, and we get to have a community where we all get to do that,
Yeah.
um in the community. So I think it's wonderful, all the things that we're doing, and the spaces we're creating, and that we all get to serve. So I appreciate you guys.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
Yeah,
It was great.
super cool.
Great. I'm so
Yeah,
glad you guys were able to get us on here.
yeah, us too. Yeah, super cool. So thank you guys, so much. Do you have yeah, think we're good, but yeah.
People contact you.
Oh yes, that. Anyway, bye.
Well,
Just kidding.
yeah,
Imagine. No.
I'm sure Crystal and Christian are gonna tag us.
Yes, we
So our
will.
insurance agency information is gonna be on there. Yeah, I don't like the whole contact us at 661, but
Yeah. Oh, I
just
know.
if you enjoyed the conversation, you want to connect with us and you want us to take care of your business, just follow our tag and
Yeah,
reach out to us.
perfect.
Yeah.
We'll definitely tag
And
you.
what-
And we'll chop up some clips. But I agree. It's funny.
Yeah.
I think you guys know. I think you know Eric Serrano. Do you guys know him from Lancaster?
No.
He's one of our friends.
Yeah.
That dude, he cracks me up, man. If he's watching, dude, I love you first of all. But that guy led straight with his number. I was like, so how do they contact you? 661. I was like, damn. All right. Yeah. I was like, all right. Straight with the number. And he's like, yeah, I don't care. Just call me.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, man. I was thinking like your tag on Instagram, but I was like, damn, all right.
Contact information below.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Below.
Easy. So
Well, anytime you want to have us on again, let us know. You know.
for sure. Yeah.
I'll
Definitely.
do it. Yeah. So we'll
Love
do
it,
it
man.
with, and maybe we can do a setup at the office. You know, we'll set something up. We can do it in person.
For sure.
We got mics, we got lights, we got everything. We can do it there, and
Yeah.
that'd
Totally.
be cool.
Yeah. We're totally open. And then I think I saw. I don't know if you're starting an official podcast or if it's just your personal podcast or blog, but you're starting
just marketing, just me trying to get some long form reels, I would say, but
okay.
I'm gonna see what it becomes and just try to get like going back to just me trying to give more knowledge basics to people and then explaining what I do in detail. I don't think I do that enough, so I want to put myself out there a little bit more in that sense.
Yeah. Well, you guys both did a phenomenal job explaining in detail what you guys do here. So I'm excited for a lot of people to see that. So
yeah,
super
thank you
cool.
guys.
Yeah, of course. And yeah, anytime. I love having conversations with you. So looking forward to many more.
Yeah, we'll see you at church on Sunday.
Definitely. We'll see you on Sunday for sure. And thanks for being on our podcast. Anybody who's watching, thanks for another episode of Christian and Crystal. And yeah, thank you guys so much. We'll see you soon. Thanks for the conversation. All right.
Bye, guys.
Have a good night. Thank you.